Thank you for joining me today for my Summer Bonus 2018 for my podcast show, Nichel Anderson, Short Stories and Beyond. Thank you for joining me for this quick bonus that I'm rolling out bi-weekly while I'm on summer break. And when my season returned back for season 2 in September, I will go back to weekly episodes. But for right now, I'm enjoying my summertime here. Just wanted to kind of still stay connected, as I have said previously. And this week is going to be really quick in the sense that I'm just going to re-release one of my favorite episodes, which is the very first one that I love. Okay. It's episode 1 that opened the door to say, hey, I could do another podcast. What if I do something that focuses on what I really love to do? I love writing and another branch of the creativity that I like to do. And so this scene kept coming in my mind. It was coming through real strong. And it was episode 1, before the time of Princess Aamina. And it's fitting because this whole past time that I was doing season 1, it just kept focusing on that aspect of time with King Mahlon and Queen Hagar, which is the parents of Princess Aamina. And it allowed me to see things in a different angle through their eyes, to understand when I was writing through the eyes of Princess Aamina in my book, Mitsrayim, a memoir, that I can understand the choices that they made that created a very strict, stressful at times experience for Princess Aamina when she had to choose what she wanted to do and go against the grain and not end up marrying the king that they wanted them to marry. And season 1 opened up some more insight into all of that back and forth and the drama and the tension and the war and all of that didn't even come up when I wrote the book. The experience itself was just extraordinary. And so this right here is just a quick intro into this episode that came to me, and from that it just kind of revolved into what it is now, that I have got people interested in knowing more about it, of a journey that I had just writing, freehanding the story through Princess Aamina. And then now all of these characters are able to tell their story that's connected to the overall heart of Mitsrayim that led to the production, the theatrical production of Moments of Love in Ancient Egypt, where Princess Aamina is the central character, because at that time she has to decide. And this is something I want to add. I do feel now, as you're going to get this around the 20th of August, that for season 2, we're going to get to the point to hear the kings, which of course when we're ready for the prestige return of MOLIAE stage play, I mean, they are on the scene, and it's them two, right? King Damar and King Daniel. But it's nice to hear backstory of the deal that was made, that Princess Aamina will have to marry King Damar, and then that battle of that going back and forth to get to the root of it, or at least it seems like it's so many roots, but get to the root of this, of what we just discussed in season 1, what we was just exposed to. And so this allows that. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, because it just opens up so many doors. Go back and listen to, or if you haven't, go listen to the podcast for I'm doing my director's clips, and this right here that I talk about, because I will at least give some nuggets about that. And I can share it right now, is that I didn't know that Queen Hagar was pregnant. Time for me to do the second episode, because Princess Hannah is already on the scene. She's the oldest sister. Now, at the time of the book and the time when we go back to stage, Princess Hannah would be married by then. Okay, she married someone that where we would call now, in Africa, we will call that Ghana, a ruler over there. And so she's married to someone over there, Princess Hannah. But time of the book, it's mainly with Princess Aamina fighting between not just her parents, but the 2 kings, so who she's going to end up with, who does she decide to do that. And then her 2 friends are on the scene, which is Nahar and Salma. All of that drama that comes out between that. And of course, Nahar, if you picked up on my previous episodes or my director's clip, is the son of Ezra. So we get to know about Ezra now in these podcasts. And I'm very excited about. We didn't get much to hear. Didn't really come through because I guess it was so much going, all these bigger than life characters. Because I haven't even got a chance to talk about the elders from Pleiadians. So I haven't really got to do that yet, but I will, because they will be, they're in the book. They were in the, one of them was, Inky was in the episodes. He will be on stage because that's the build up until when she decides, because Damar comes on the scene and it gets bigger. So go back and look at those previous episodes. Get familiar with it. There's a lot of characters. Most of them will be back on stage. Most of them will not. They will stay in the podcast realm world because it's an epic production. But I want to make sure that people get it and connect with it and get the message. The message overall for Mitsrayim, to me, to you, is that the power of choice and the power of the responsibility of choice, and how your choices to decide on how they want to live their life. And so it comes into acceptance. But that's the takeaway. That's the inspiration. That's the message, right? So let me go ahead and start off that this is my favorite episode before the Time of Princess Aamina, episode 1. And I hope you enjoy it as I enjoy it. Please share it with someone. Please subscribe to my podcast. Tell somebody else to subscribe to my podcast. MOLIAE is also featured on Facebook. So please go ahead and connect with us on Facebook and on Twitter. And look out for when I make that announcement of when this production will return back to stage for the prestige return of MOLIAE stage play. Thank you. Hope you're having a good summer. See you. So long. Each column stood royal Abbas guards, equal to 20 in weight. There stood Queen Hagar, looking out to the blue Nile with her back to everyone. At a distance, young Princess Hannah, at the age of 7 years old, sat watching her mother with 4 royal female attendants. For this was another moment to observe as directed as so. Scuffle of sounds echoed as Notul of the Orion's High Council entered with Comrade Jachar and 10 royal guards. Did anyone see him enter the hall of Banu to come here? Queen Hagar spoke. Nata, I know how to, as so. Nontu interrupted Comrade Jachar before he could answer. That is true, Queen Hagar. No one else knows of this moment, responded Comrade Jachar. We have seen your position to handle this matter. I have moved to. Should not the king of Mitsrayim make such a move? For abruptly she turned around to face Natu, speaking in his Orion language. Translation. I stand as the sole ruler, as my king mate awaits to return. Remember that. Shocked Notu was he. Shocked Natu was he. Their eyes locked for seemed eternity as silence filled the room. Natu nodded once before the queen. Queen Hagar started to speak in Sumerian cuneiform. Neototo it nam makundu et te toto solo alalasifo. Translation. I move to wait 3 Aspu days before I choose your position or not. Comrade Jachar, lead him out of my presence. I wish not to see or smell of his deeds that led to this moment. As you wish, Queen Hagar, replied Comrade Dachar. Natu hesitated before nodding, and then angrily looked away before leaving the room. Queen Hagar noticed Ezra, the high roar herbalist, entered the room. She nods to him. Queen Hagar then smiled briefly to comfort Princess Hannah, that was still wide-eyed in awe of the previous moment. She nods to the female attendants to take Princess Hannah and leave before, telepathically, she tells Hannah, "We will be with one another soon to talk." Princess Hannah, now at ease, at peace, smiling at her mother, nods and responded in Samoan cuneiform. Osho ana etu. Translation: Ashe, mother. Few moments later, Queen Hagar enters the Yana Hall, far north end of the Abbas Palace in Mitsrayim.